Letting him go wasn't easy, but loving you is worth every tear I cried. He wanted a piece of me, but you have all of me. I walked away from what could have been because I believed in what we could build together. He wanted my love, but you've always owned my soul. Letting go of him was a risk, but I knew it was the only way to hold on to you. He tried to keep me, but I was already yours in every way that mattered. He loved the idea of me, but you love the reality of who I am. I let him go, knowing the love I have for you was worth the sacrifice. I gave up the fantasy for the reality of loving you. He could have given me the world, but I chose the universe I see in your eyes. Even though he wanted me, it was your love that I craved most. I let him go because I knew my heart would never truly belong to him. He wanted to keep me close, but I couldn't live a lie when my heart screamed for you. Letting go wasn't a loss, it was a step closer to you. He could offer me safety, but only you made me feel alive. I chose love over convenience, passion over comfort, and you over him. He wanted my time, but you've always had my forever. Even when it hurt, I let him go because you were the one I was meant to love. He wanted to claim my heart, but it was already yours to hold. Choosing you wasn't just a choice, it was a destiny I couldn't ignore. I let him go, not because he didn't matter, but because you mattered more. He wanted my presence, but you've always had my essence. I let him go because I couldn't keep pretending my heart wasn't yours. He could have been my comfort, but you are my fire. He saw a version of me, but you see all of me, and that's why I chose you. Letting him go wasn't about leaving, it was about returning to where I belong. With you, he could have been my safe haven, but you are my greatest adventure. He was the past I let go of to make room for the future I saw with you. He wanted to love me, but it's you who truly understands me. I let him go because deep down I knew I could never let go of you. He wanted my smile, but only you can make me laugh from my soul. I chose the one who challenges me, inspires me, and loves me unconditionally, you. He may have wanted me, but you're the one who makes me feel wanted in every way. I let him go because I couldn't bear the thought of losing you. He could have been my now, but you're my forever. He gave me attention, but you give me love that feels infinite. I walked away from him because I wanted to walk towards you. He wanted to hold my hand, but you're the one who holds my heart. I let him go because the life I want is the one I'm building with you. He could have been my choice, but you are my destiny. I let him go because your love feels like home, and nothing else compares. He was the easy path, but you're the path that makes me feel alive. He wanted to be my everything, but you already are. He gave me what I needed, but you give me what I never knew I wanted. I chose you, even when it meant letting go of what seemed easier. I walked away from him because I saw my future in your eyes. He wanted my love, but you have my soul. I let him go because your love feels like the truth I've always searched for. He was a fleeting moment, but you are my lifetime. Letting him go wasn't about loss. It was about choosing what was real with you. He wanted a place in my heart, but you already own it completely. I let him go because you were the one I couldn't let go of. He wanted my presence, but only you make me feel truly alive. I let him go because love with you feels like coming home. He wanted a spark, but you are my fire. I couldn't give him what he wanted because my heart was always yours. He was a shadow, but you are my light. I let him go because I realized my love for you was worth everything. He wanted a part of me, but with you, I feel whole. Letting him go wasn't easy, but loving you makes it all worth it. I had to choose between love and loyalty, and I let go of one to hold on to the other. In the end, I let him go, knowing the one I truly wanted was always you. He could have had me, but my heart knew where it truly belonged. I could have stayed, but I chose you. I hope you see the sacrifice behind every choice I made. Sometimes love means letting go so that the right one can walk into your life. He wanted me, but I wanted you more. It was never about choosing him over you. It was about knowing where my heart truly lies. I let him go because I knew we were only meant for a season, but you were my forever. He was a chapter, but you're the story I want to write. I could feel the pull of another, but my soul screamed for you. He wanted a moment, but I gave my whole heart to you. I let him go with the hope that my sacrifice would mean something for us. Sometimes, the hardest decisions are the ones that make all the difference in love. He wanted to be my future, but I already knew you were the one I was meant to build it with. He was a temporary feeling, but you're my lifelong dream. I had to let go of the past to make space for a future that was meant to be with you. The hardest part was knowing I could have had him, but I had to make room for the one I truly wanted. Even though he wanted me, my heart was always set on you. I chose the deeper connection, the one that has always been with you, even when I didn't know it. It wasn't easy, but letting him go was my way of holding on to us. I let him go not because I didn't care, but because I knew he wasn't the one who would complete me. He wanted my body, but you captured my soul. I chose the person who saw my worth, even if it meant letting go of the one who didn't. I didn't choose him because my heart had already decided on you. Even when he wanted to stay, I couldn't bring myself to let him keep me from you. He was a fleeting moment, but you are the eternity I dream of. Choosing you meant letting go of what could have been for the promise of what will be. I chose to let go not out of hate, but out of love for you. He could have been my past, but you're my present and future. I let him go because I know there's something better waiting for me with you. Sometimes you have to let go of something good to make room for something great. I knew I had to let him go to give us a chance to grow together. He wanted me too, but in the end, my heart only wanted you. I let him go because my heart knew that our connection was far deeper than anything I had before. He could have been mine, but I knew my heart belonged with you from the start. It wasn't about him, it was always about you. I had a choice between comfort and passion, and I chose you. He had everything but my heart, because it was already yours. It was hard to let him go, but my love for you made the choice simple. He wanted my attention, but I wanted your love. Letting him go didn't break me. It freed me to love you fully. It wasn't about choosing him. It was about realizing I had already chosen you. He didn't understand that my love for you was stronger than any attraction I had for him. I let him go because I knew that sometimes letting go is the only way to make things right. He could have been a part of my life, but you're the one I want to build it with. Choosing you meant walking away from what could have been for the certainty of what I feel now. I let him go because deep down I knew I was always meant for you. He could have had me, but you already had my heart. The hardest part wasn't letting him go. It was trusting that what I had with you was worth it. He was a temporary love, but you were my forever. I gave up the safety of the familiar for the wild unknown with you. I let go of something comfortable because you felt like home. It was hard, but I had to let him go to make room for the person who was meant to stay. I couldn't keep something that wasn't right when you were everything I ever needed. He may have wanted me, but I knew I needed you. Letting go was the only way I could be sure of the future we're building together. He wanted to hold me close, but it's you who has my heart in your hands. I let him go because I realized love is about connection, not just attraction. In the end, I knew I had to let him go so I could truly let you in. He was a temptation, but you were the truth I couldn't deny.